Hello, dear friends. Welcome to this program, our Moments with God, our moments with this beautiful nature, which is also the creation of God. And this beautiful creation can always put us in touch with the Creator and see His beauty. But not only through this created world as in nature, but also through our brothers and sisters who also God has created and who are also as beautiful as this nature itself. And also these brothers and sisters can put us in touch with God. And I hope that you find through your brothers and sisters and through nature also your way to God, which is one of my attempts to bring us closer to God. And if you like these videos, you may please share it with others. Thank you. I will tell you in a minute why I have taken this beautiful nature as the background, but I would like to begin with the first reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Philippians, where of course he begins by telling people to imitate him, and because he is imitating himself, Christ, and he hopes that by people imitating him, they will come to know Christ more closely and come to know God better. That is what he is attempting at. And later on, he goes on to say that because he finds some people who are not interested in the ways of God, he says they are only worried about their stomach. And then he makes a very serious accusation. Their glory is in their shame. Yeah, their glory is in their shame. That means they take pride in doing some shameful things. And he invites people to forget about these things. Don't be only worried about the worldly things, but put your mind more towards God, towards heavenly, because he says we are not citizens of this world. And he uses a beautiful example or parallel. We are citizens of heaven, or we have a citizenship of heaven. And therefore, if we are citizens of heaven, then naturally our behavior has to be like people in heaven, or how we would land up in heaven. And that brings me to the gospel today, and that explains why I have taken this background of beautiful field, because the gospel speaks about a rich man who had a dishonest steward. This rich man must have had these fields where a lot of wheat grew and a lot of other natural crops grew, because as we find, when the steward is being dismissed because of his dishonesty, then he calls his vendors and asks them to write, instead of 50 quintals of wheat, write 80 or whatever, because he must have collected from these beautiful fields what the crops, and he collected. But what we find very rather disturbing or intriguing at the end of this gospel is that when the master found out that his servant was dishonest, he appreciated the steward, for his dishonesty. So I was reading the commentary on it, and the commentator William Barclay also says that this is a very difficult passage to interpret and find the right interpretation. But then he says that both the rich man was also dishonest. He made his riches by dishonesty, not by honesty. And therefore, when he found another dishonest man, so he appreciated that this man could be more dishonest than himself, and so he appreciated his dishonesty. But then the last sentence of the gospel today, where Jesus says, the wisdom of this world, the people whose wisdom of this world is, or they are wiser than the people of light. What he means by that is that people who live by honesty and by light are not as clever and as wise as the people of this world. What Jesus means is that, and what St. Paul is saying, if those two things can be connected, we are citizens of heaven if we use our worldly wisdom to collect wealth and to collect other things, if we can use that wisdom to collect things in heaven, the steward who was collecting more for his future, he was only thinking of his worldly future as long as he could live. He never thought of what that dishonesty would do for him to lose the citizenship of heaven, which St. Paul is talking about. And that is what Jesus is saying, that if we could use the wisdom of this world to gain our greater citizenship or hold in heaven, I am sure you will use all your courage and all your talents to make heaven more easily accessible to you. And I wish you all the very best, and you may please subscribe to this channel. Thank you.